Yo, what is going on, guys? It is Taylor the Fiend back again. Got a story for you here today titled Wife Abandoned Me to Move into Her Ex's House to quote unquote save money, so I filed for divorce. Now, this is a story of a dude who I believe loses his job. And one of the fastest ways to lose women, by the way, guys, is especially if you're in a, you've got a girlfriend or a wife or something like this, one of the fastest ways to lose your wife or girlfriend is to lose your job. So we have a guy here who's 36, he loses his job, and then his wife's solution is to move into her ex's house. And this one has a crazy twist to it. So we'll jump right into this. This is a 36-year-old dude. He says, my wife, who is 34, I'm a 36-year-old male, and I had been married for 3 years. She has a daughter who's 15 from a previous relationship. We weren't rich, but we had a decent life. That changed fast when I lost my job and our lease expired around the same time. We needed a cheaper place, something temporary until I could work again. I was looking at short-term rentals and cheap apartments, but my wife had another idea. Okay, so let's just pump the brakes here for a second and look at this huge red flag that's in the room with us right now, okay? This is a woman who not only is a single mother, which why in the hell are you marrying a single mother? I don't know why men do this to themselves. But this dude, not only does he marry a single mother, but check this out. This is a single mother who's 34 to a daughter who's 15. So what's that? She had the kid when she was 19, 18, something like that. Like, what are we doing here, man? Has a kid at 18 to 19, probably to some, some Chad, right? Some young Chad. And now we have Simp McGee over here marrying this woman and trying to provide for her. And of course, as soon as the waters get a bit rocky, as soon as the finances aren't there, she's going to bounce. Men just don't see this coming, guys. But once you see this stuff enough, it's just so obvious. Women typically are not going to stick around long term with men who cannot provide for them. It's one thing to be, 18 and 19, kind of thing. But then you fast forward to when the woman's 30, she's pushing those late 20s. She needs a man to provide for her, and a lot of them don't want to quote unquote settle. So you lose those resources, and you'll lose the woman typically, at least over a long-term time period. Not always, but typically. Let's continue. She told me her ex, a 38-year-old male, had offered her and their daughter a room at his house rent-free. According to her, he only lived there part-time. He had another place closer to his job and only came back on weekends. It would save money, apparently, and keep her daughter near her school and friends. I asked if she expected all three of us to live there, and she hesitated. Then she said no. Apparently, her ex wasn't comfortable with me staying there, said he didn't really know me personally and wasn't ready to have another man under his roof. My jaw dropped, so she was asking me to let her and her daughter move in with her ex, who would be there part of the week, while I went off to figure something else out. This is hilarious. So is this, I don't know if this is the dude that she had a kid with. This guy would have been 4 years older than her at the time. So if she was 18, 19 when she had a kid, this guy would have been like 22, 23, whatever, something like that. I don't know if this is the guy who is the father of the kid. It damn well could be. Who knows, right? But the guy says he's not happy with all three of them living there, just the wife and the kid. So this dude's essentially like, yeah, you can move in, but him, absolutely not. I think we all know what this means, okay? I think we can all understand what this means. He says, I told her this was beyond disrespectful. It wasn't just about saving money. It was about boundaries and priorities. If the roles were reversed and I offered to move into my ex's house where she wasn't welcome, I doubt she'd be so calm about it. Yeah, she would lose her marbles. I guarantee this woman would lose it. I can guarantee you that. She said, I was being dramatic, that it wasn't quote unquote like that. And the ex was just being cautious about his space. I said I didn't care. I wasn't going to be pushed out of my own marriage just because her ex had more square footage. Yep, that's what it's about, my friend. After days of arguing, she told me, we are going. You can stay if you want, but we need stability right now. I reminded her that we are supposed to be the family, that stability doesn't mean splitting the family just to save money, and she left anyway. Her daughter barely said goodbye, just packed up and went with her. Yeah, so this is how you know, right? This kind of treatment, it should instantly tell you that this woman does not love this guy. She doesn't respect this guy whatsoever. This man is what we call a wallet to this woman. Okay, and it's really unfortunate, but here's the thing. It's kind of on men to avoid and not be used like this. You know what I mean? Like, you need to walk away immediately, my friend. Like, it's crazy to me how dudes will stay in situations where women are clearly just using them for their resources and disrespecting them, treating them like trash, and just expecting things to get better. You know, insane to me. It boggles my mind. It really does. And the women aren't going to stop doing this, by the way, right? So it's kind of on the men to walk away from these situations. It's like the women are going to continue to use you for your resources if you allow them to. So that's why it's very important, I think, for a lot of guys to be walking away from crap like this. He says, I stayed in a low-end hotel on the edge of town. It was noisy, uncomfortable, and honestly depressing. I scraped together temporary work while sending out resumes, but the worst part was the silence. They rarely texted, a couple of updates here and there, doing fine, hope you're okay. No ownership and no real concern. Just radio silence from the woman who said forever. Yep. It sounds about standard, right? It's like, yes, this man lost his job and his ability to provide for a single mother. So this guy has essentially fulfilled his usefulness, at least for now. This is what you get, right? When you're a dude who is not providing anything. You know, if the woman doesn't think you're worth crap, this is the kind of responses you'll get. This is the kind of, you know, the effort that she will put in. He says, 5 weeks later, she messaged me. I think maybe I made the wrong call. Can we talk about moving back in together? No apology, no acknowledgement of what she did, just a soft attempt to slide back into my life after living part-time under the same roof as her ex while I was out scraping change in a motel. Yeah, so she was cheating with this dude the whole she was hooking up with this guy the whole time, first of all. Second of all, I don't know why this guy didn't instantly, number one, you shouldn't be with a single mother in the first place, in my opinion. But number two, failing that, she ditches you against your wishes to go and stay under the same roof as her ex, and you stayed with her in this relationship for a further 5 weeks. What is this guy doing, man? Like, should have thrown away the woman immediately. He says, I told her no. You chose to stay in your ex's house with him there, knowing I wasn't welcome. You expected me to be okay with that because it was convenient for you. I'm not interested in pretending like that's normal. She tried to argue again, said it wasn't about him, said I was being prideful, said her daughter missed me, which probably isn't true. I told her I missed her too, but missing someone doesn't mean you let them walk all over you. So he filed. I spoke to a lawyer and started the divorce process. Not out of revenge, just because I knew I couldn't be married to someone who made a decision like that and thought we would just go back to normal. Some friends say I should have been more understanding, that she was doing what she thought was best. Others say I'm doing the right thing. I don't need their opinions. I know what it feels like to be treated like an outsider in your own marriage. I love these friends in the background, right, of dudes' lives that are, they're just always there like, hey man, you should forgive her. She's doing her best. You know, the woman's struggling too. Okay, get the hell out of here. These people are not your friends, by the way. I never understand this. Like, a lot of guys will have these quote unquote friends who genuinely just do not have their best interests at heart. Like, what's the point of even having these people as friends? It makes no, as friends, excuse me. It makes no sense to me. He says, I'm back on my feet, got a new job, a cheap but clean apartment, and I've started hitting the gym again. Nice. He even met some guys at the gym who have become a solid little friend group, something I didn't have before all of this. So he's rebuilding better. Last week, she sent me an old photo of us on a trip. No words, just the picture, and I didn't respond. Some final thoughts here. He says, I didn't think my marriage would fall apart over something like this, but maybe it didn't fall apart. Maybe it just exposed the cracks that were already there. If I wasn't worth defending to her ex, I wasn't worth staying for either. Would you have let her come back? Absolutely not. Wouldn't get with a single mother in the first place, to be honest with you. But this is what happens, guys, right? These dudes are out here being used for resources, and when the resources dry up, the women move on. It's very, very simple stuff. Guys, we're going to be leaving today's episode there. Don't forget to leave your thoughts and your comments. Make sure you guys take care of yourselves, and I'll be seeing you all in the next one. Peace.